cloud. So they have your basic enterprise applications such as dashboard reporting, event processing, rules engine, data storage, analytics, and then they've wrapped it with a device API and an application API. The whole idea is for multiple heterogeneous applications to work with multiple heterogeneous devices. That happens in their platform, which is called the Zatar platform. Now, how does it work? They have a brilliant approach. They create an avatar of your machine in the cloud. So this is a refrigerator truck delivering perishable goods. Each one of the boxes in there has its own avatar in the cloud. Applications can be written to deal with those, such as are these perishable good boxes, is the health of the boxes, the temperature maintained? Were they delivered on time to the location? When they were delivered to the location, the ownership changes from the supplier to the purchaser. Pricing algorithms. All of these things can happen in the cloud and visible, accessible to you in mobile platforms. What I'd like to do is take a minute and ask or share with you a video from Anders Gustafsson, the CEO of Zebra, and his perspectives. Zebra was founded some 46 years ago by two founders, Ed Kaplan and Gary Kless, and in the mid-80s got into barcode printing, which has been the core of the company for most of its life. And we've expanded our portfolio, became the strong market leader in selling the printing in all sorts of markets, but also to active RFID, passive RFID, and most recently with the acquisition of Motorola's enterprise business. So now we sell basically 95% of the global Fortune 500 companies, retail, manufacturing, transportation, logistics, healthcare. We help our customers connect the physical world to the digital world. We scan a barcode view that has now communicated something about itself to an application. So the physical world has been able to communicate to the digital world. And out of that, the first big project we came up with was Zatar, our IT-based cloud platform. Our vision was that there will be this proliferation of connected devices. Zebra and Renesas has worked together for many, many years. We've had Renesas microcontrollers in virtually all of our printers. And our relationship has been very, very tight, let's say, for a long time. And now I think we see that new opportunities. As Renesas has such a strong presence in microcontrollers and being able to provide intelligence to all sorts of disparate devices around our customers, our mutual customers' premises, and couple that with Zatar. So I think that the Renesas Synergy platform is an ideal framework for enabling all sorts of devices to be connected to the internet. And when you combine that also with our Zatar platform, we can offer the base functionality to our end-user customers so that they don't have to develop that themselves. They can focus instead on developing the functionality that really differentiates their products and services. As a fellow engineer, I got to say, I think the Internet of Things is probably the most exciting new development that's happened in the last decade. It's rare to get a chance to work on developing new technology that can really have such a huge impact on business and society at large. Thank you, Anders. As I mentioned, two partnerships directly between the Synergy platform and these cloud platform partners, direct connection. The second one is Verizon. We have worked with Verizon to establish this direct link between our platform and their cloud solution. Verizon is not new to the game. They have been doing this for years. What they have done is package their strength, their core competency of these enterprise applications into a very easy-to-use package by providing APIs so that you can take advantage of all the strengths they have. First, through an intermediate partner called Bug Labs, any sensor information that's in the platform can come into the cloud, and you can have these widgets that demonstrate and show all the status of the sensors and the physical world. You can pick and choose these widgets. You can set trigger points, and then you can come directly into their analytics, storage, rules engines, event processing. So all the core competencies that they have will be available to you through an API there. What differentiates the Verizon platform are things like security, the ability to prevent intrusion. You can kill a session if unauthorized access is happening to your machine. And quality of service is very important. Imagine you are building a medical machine, a medical device that goes into an ambulance. Naturally, in this case, you have a cellular connection to the cloud. You want to guarantee the data path, the key APIs that go from your medical machine into the application in the cloud and back. Using the API, you can establish a quality of service connection. In other words, the traffic that goes between your machine and the cloud and back, you can control that. You can gain advantage over other devices that have the same connection, cellular connection, because this is a life-threatening machine. And you can do so. You can gain that type of control over the traffic through the simple API. I'd like to share with you a video from Marnie Weldon, the EVP and President of Product and New Business Innovation at Verizon.
We opened our first innovation center in Waltham, Massachusetts, and the whole idea was to bring all kinds of partners into the innovation center to work side by side with them to working on getting LTE modules into devices. And it was not just about a smartphone or a tablet. It was garbage cans, it was watches, it was digital signage. And now you're starting to see those solutions deployed really within use cases, which is really exciting. So on the East Coast, we're doing a lot of work around smart cities. So if you're on the East Coast and you're a municipality, what you worry about is traffic congestion and trying to find ways to improve that. So providing things like signaling, smart signaling, or smart parking solutions where you can reroute the cars so that it goes down a different route or find available parking. All of those kinds of things are really important. Now, if you're on the West Coast, what's really interesting is you're very much worried about the water. And so providing smart agricultural solutions is really critical. So at Verizon, we realized that we won't be able to do this by ourselves. So having key partners who can come in and collaborate together is really critical to delivering these use cases and improving the places that we live and work. Partnership and collaboration is really important. So bringing the Renaissance Synergy platform together with Verizon's IoT solution allows us to get to market very quickly. If we were doing this by ourselves, I think we would both have to go and invest in a bunch of R&D. Our time to market would be late. So having a great partner like this is really critical to us getting to market, providing solutions, and then also coming up with new business models together to really advance this.
Thank you, Marty. And this is the ultimate platform. And I say ultimate because, we in the United States, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 5 short years by 2020, will have close to 40 million citizens age of 70 or over. In addition to that, according to the Transport Administration, only 4% of our citizens aged 70 or over are using the public transport system. This means we have an aged society and we don't have a good public transport system. We have 2 options. The first is to move to Europe or Japan where they have an excellent public transport system, or to build autonomous cars. The other side of this coin is crash proofing. Over a decade ago, as an industry, we developed ADS and airbags and ETS, tire pressure monitor systems, and all sorts of passive safety solutions that lowered deaths. However, in the past 5 years, the deaths have been steady at 100 per day. And according to the NHTSA, 95% of these accidents are the result of human errors. So we have to automate our cars and make them safe. So that's why I call it the ultimate platform. So if we're going to automate our cars, that means we are no longer going to drive. So we have to replace our eyes and our feeling and our sense for the road with these sensors. These sensors are cameras, radars, LiDARs, and V2X radios. Collectively, they represent us. Collectively, they displace us. They displace how we see and feel the road. The good news is that the capability of these sensors is improving, and there's a healthy price erosion that's happening with these sensors. Now, how do we use these sensors to automate our cars? The sensors, the feed from these sensors, the information, the data from these sensors is fed into these very powerful compute engines that are powered by Renesas R cars and in the future RH850s. These are very powerful processors that are doing functional safety, security, and communication. In addition to these core processors, what we announced at this DevCon is a new R-Car T2, which is a device that sits right next to the camera, takes the analog video feed and digitizes it and transmits Ethernet ADD signals to any modules in the car. We also announced a R-Car WTR, which is a GSRC V2X radio. So essentially it's a radio for vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-infrastructure communications. So the combination of these compute engines and these new chips will bring the sense or the information from the road into the car. We partnered with Harbridge. They have this elegant platform called PolySense. Essentially, their platform abstracts the sensor world from what we want to do, which is the intelligence piece. How do we take all of this sense and generate intelligence? They have developed a very rich and easy-to-use set of APIs so that we can focus on object detection and classification. Is it a human? Is it a tree? Is it an ambulance? Is it a fire truck? Is it a car? As well as obstacle avoidance and path planning. You see, everything up to the stage is building the bridge. Do you want to build this bridge? Do you want to invest your money in building this very complex set of platforms? Or do you want to focus on what we really need, which is this intelligence piece? You see, up until now, only a few rich companies have been able to do this. This partnership, our strong compute engines and processors, as well as Harbridge platforms, in a sense democratizes. It enables anybody, just as I mentioned in the apps world, where people who aren't knowledgeable with the machine, but have a good business acumen. In this world, scientists or others who have intelligent understanding of artificial intelligence, fuzzy logic, can add value to this ultimate platform without having billions of dollars to build the platform. That's the name of the game, and that's what we're enabling. We have 2 cars that demonstrate this capability at this DevCon, and we're giving rides outside in the parking lot showing sensor fusion, V2X communication, as well as a full surround view. Of course, the other layer of autonomous driving is the command and control. In the command and control, you need to have in-vehicle health. If you were no longer driving the car, you don't have that tactile feedback to sense whether or not the car is going to break down to take it in for repair. So you need this in-vehicle health module that can sense and realize, oh my God, the car's going to fail. We need to take it in for repair. Of course, there's V2X communication with the cloud or other vehicles and infrastructure. There's occupant monitoring, and of course, over-the-air program. All of this combined goes into the steering control, the brake control, the engine control, and then that's when the actuation happens. At this point, I'd like to invite you to see a brief video from Joshua Harting, the CEO of Hargrave.
Hargrave came out of a company called Autonomous Stuff, where I was CTO. I was brought in to build out kind of automotive engineering component of that group, which was otherwise just selling kind of the hardware components, the sensors, the computers that you need to build autonomous vehicles. What happened was I ended up on site with a variety of customers, not only in automotive, but in mining, military, agriculture, academia, customers that were the most advanced teams in the world building out autonomous vehicles. And what I saw was there was a common problem among all of them, so that they were all building the entire software stack themselves. And we're estimating that somewhere on the order of 60 to 70% of the effort or of the funding they're putting into these systems was going into building out kind of the back-end infrastructure and troubleshooting that. And what we're seeing on the road now with Google Car and with Uber and Apple and all the OEMs, these tend to be more prototypes or demonstrators. Our polishing product, in combination with Renesas R-Car technology, is really the first step toward a fully productionized solution to solve some of those problems. But there's also challenges simply in the component tool chain and the way that we develop these systems in the first place. Renesas and Hargrave are working together to build out a full productionized tool chain for building out automated vehicle algorithms and then testing and validating them all the way through to mass deployment and then managing the life cycle of the vehicle. We're having much higher bandwidth of sensing coming in for autonomous vehicle driving. Typically, we're seeing on the order of 1 to 2 gigabits per second of data, and that's something like 10x what you see on a vehicle today. We also have the need for high-end, high-performance, really exotic software algorithms to process all this data to tell the car where to go and how to drive there. We've got 8 high-density LiDARs, we've got 5 radars, and we've got 3 cameras running simultaneously on these cars. This is a massive data load, and our car is handling it perfectly. So we're really highlighting sensor fusion, which is kind of the basis of advanced autonomous vehicle algorithms. We're taking a platform that makes it easier and faster to build out automated driving applications. These are things like auto emergency braking, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring. We've worked with a lot of the players in the industry, and we're partnered with Renesas because we think they have a singular drive and vision for the future of automated driving. Renesas has more experience than anybody else in functional safety. They understand the challenges that it will take to deploy safe and reliable systems in the field. I'm really excited about the work that we've done with Renesas in building these 2 Cadillacs for DevCon. They're a big step in showing the power of Renesas R-Car platform and Hargrave's polishing platform in easing the development of autonomous vehicle algorithms.
Thank you, Joshua. And Joshua's here with us. So, this is our 4th DevCon, and when we established our first DevCon, we had 3 guiding principles: no fluff, focus on solutions, and our concierge customer service, where we ensure that while you're here, your experience is meaningful to you. On behalf of my staff and the entire global Renesas organization, I hope that we meet and even exceed your expectations. Thank you very much. The tools marketing manager, and before that, I was with NXP and Philips Semiconductors, as well as Siemens and Infineon Technologies for about 8 years each. Always dealing with microcontrollers, always dealing with the tools. So that's what I like to do. That's my background. Okay, you've seen a number of classes now. You've seen the slide every time. Basically, this presentation, since it's dealing with synergy, it's engaging at the platform level because